Random Fandom Chats. I'm Tandra.
I'm Dee.
And this is Annabeth. And here we talk about sci-fi and fantasy related items for the most part. And today's topic is Pirates of the Caribbean.
Now, usually when I see and hear movies that get like a lot of hype about them and a lot of people really like them, a lot of times I'll watch them and it's kind of hard for me to pinpoint why they are so iconic and why people acclaim them so much. But Pirates of the Caribbean is one of the ones that I actually do see it, you know. It has some really great special effects. It's well done. It's well written. It tells an interesting story. And you like the characters in it, and it's well acted. And for a Disney movie, it was actually pretty mature in a lot of ways.
Yeah, well, and it kind of harkens back to a lot of the old swashbuckler type movies and other things like that. There's also, it's a great action-oriented film, which, you know,
has some great sword fights in it.
Right.
That do not look corny at all. They are very well filmed.
Right. That's one thing Disney's always been really good at, though, is having good sword
They really take a very keynote in having authenticity in a lot of their stuff.
A lot of their stuff. And I really thought the special effects in it were really, really good.
A lot of times when a movie has a lot of special effects, it looks very cheesy, and not cheesy, but it looks like just like a really well done animated film. It doesn't look like it blends in with the live actionness.
But in this one,
very
it does.
well. But yeah, this one it actually does. That's probably mostly just because it's Disney and they have an huge.
They're extremely good at that,
right?
Yeah, that is something Disney actually does quite well. Which is, I guess, good that they got Star Wars because of that. Yeah, well, and Johnny Depp did a great job. I mean, he's a really amazing actor anyway, but a lot of stuff he does, I really have a hard time watching.
Just generally. It's just generally not your type of movies, but this one, you know.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, like I said, it's got all that action, it's got the sword fighting, it's got, like you say, an interesting story. Now, the other films that have come along since they've been okay.
I really like the first one. As they've gone on, they've gotten a little bit. I've liked them less and less. They're still pretty good. Don't get me wrong. They're still decent, but I've liked them less and less with each movie.
The new one coming out looks pretty intriguing.
I'll probably go see it.
So it looks like, you know, it might have a lot of the same elements that the first one did, which is pretty cool. There was a lot of humor in it, which I always appreciate.
Yeah, that is one thing. Even now, you still see a lot of the, like, scenes and whatnot on, like, Facebook and Tumblr and whatnot. It's probably one of the most, what they call, memeable movies ever. It has some of the most iconic lines, you know, like Johnny Depp getting slapped in the face and he goes, I didn't deserve that one. Oh, wait, I deserve that one. No, I definitely deserve that one. You know, it's got some of the most memorable lines in it that way.
Right.
Or like the scene where the captain's coming out and you see his face turning all skeletal and he goes, you better start believing in fairy tales, you're living one, or ghost stories. It's ghost stories.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of, you know, just different ones like that. There was a lot of humor between the lead actress and Johnny Depp in the film, if I remember right.
Well, that's another thing. I love Keira Knightley's character of Elizabeth Swann. You know, she's grown up in a time period where women were taught they couldn't do anything, and yet, you know, a lot of times she saves herself, or at least tries to save herself in a lot of these situations, which a lot of characters, especially in kind of swashbuckling movies, don't do. They're just kind of like, oh, I'm a damsel in distress, oh. But no, she's just like, no, I'm going to get off this boat, and I'm going to go save my would-be boyfriend at the same time.
Yeah, that is always cool when you get somebody like that. You were looking up some interesting things about the film, and you said that when they were doing the one sword fighting scene and there was dust up around their feet, that was chocolate powder.
Yeah, apparently that was chocolate powder. The first scene where Captain Jack Sparrow meets Will Turner and they're having a sword fight in his blacksmithery, there's like dust on the floor, and I guess that's actually cocoa powder. And it's like, I don't think that would be like the best thing to have around you when you're like kicking it up.
Yeah, could you imagine breathing that in?
No, see, I like chocolate, but I'm not sure I want to be breathing in chocolate powder.
Things actors do for their craft. It's amazing.
Well, and Keira Knightley, I guess, was only 17 when she was doing that role, and that girl does not look 17. I mean, she looks like she looks very mature. Like, not in a bad way, of course. That's like, really? You were 17 when you did that?
Yeah, it's amazing how some people don't look anywhere near their age.
Well, it surprised me that they would put somebody that young in a role, especially a lead role where they have to be in a lot of the scenes, because a lot of times they're reluctant to do that with younger actors, if possible.
A lot of times, although every once in a while they'll hire people that are relatively young, although usually they're at least 18. But,
Yeah, at least.
It does happen. Well, it's definitely a decent franchise to watch. The first one is fun in a lot of ways. And I am kind of excited to see the new one coming out. So
I'm interested to see where they're going with it, how they're going to try to extend the story one more episode, and if this is going to be the last one finally, or...
You never know. If sequels do well, sometimes they keep them up, which is, hey, as long as they're still good.
Right, as long as they're still good. It's like Toy Story. It's like, I love all of those movies
they're all
so
good,
far.
so...
Now, I'm kind of weary. I'm kind of like, okay, maybe they should just quit while they're ahead. Don't ruin my childhood with a really crappy sequel. But, you know... If they can keep going and keep making them good, I'm all for it.
That's definitely true. Because that is one thing that's always really, really sad in a lot of the things that we watch and read, is we get so involved with these characters and then the story ends. You know, I binge watch a lot of TV series, you know, my favorites especially, you know, and I'll sit and rewatch it, and then I'm like, I want more. And so,
and
you know.
it's like, but there is no more, or show gets canceled, or even if it does have an actual ending, you're still just like, but I want to know what happens to the next. You know?
Yeah, you always want a little more. So why don't we see what we're going to do next time?
And Beth, you ready to pick?
She's looking anyway.
Let's get one of each color.
What are we going to do this time? The green one or the orange one?
Green or orange?
Well, she went to green first, so... I Dream of Jeannie.
Oh.
So we're going back into the old stuff again.
Yeah, a little bit more fantasy oriented.
All right, well that will work, and we will do that. And please tune into any of our specials. If you like what we do, give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Tell all your friends about us.
Leave suggestions in the comment, or just, you know, general comments.
Yeah, we love reading the comments, and we do read every one of them, and we try to respond to some, but I'm still not real good at that yet. But we try to do that, and we do read them all, so we appreciate everything that you guys do for us.
All right, we'll see you guys next time.